Welcome back to Number Math, in which we apply color to identify and sequence within math, always providing students the opportunity to solve independently and self-assess at the end of the video. Kicking this off for my Math 2 crew, we are working on triangle proportionality theorem. Okay, for this next set of 4 problems, we will be working with when a line parallel to one of the sides of the triangle intersects the other 2 sides of the triangle, okay? So taking a look at this large triangle of ABD, okay? BD was once a whole side of 50, and AD was once a whole side of 33 plus X. But then came this line of EC that intersects with line AD and line BD. Now splitting our 50 into a 27.5 and a 22.5. Okay, now that 22.5 of CD corresponds with CB. All right, so I'm just going to put CD, and I'm going to put my 22.5 over here. And if I know that CD corresponds with CB, I will put the CB below for my statement. I will put my 27.5 below to represent. Okay, but it also tells me that line ED, which is represented by an X here, corresponds with line EA, sports. It's in the game. All right, we will put that right there, drop that pip in a 33 right below. And from here, I'm confident in exactly what you guys are doing in order to solve. Yes, we will cross multiply. 27.5. Okay, I'm no longer going to write out 27.5 in parentheses x equals. We are just going to go ahead and multiply. 27.5 times x is wonderful. 27.5x. We will set that equal to 22.5 times 33. Sorry, just wanted to switch up the colors. All right, 22.5 times 33 equals 742.5. Whoa, large numbers. But again, does it matter in math the size of the numbers? Not if we're comfortable with manipulating the formula. And what do we do next to solve for x? Yes, that's exactly what we do. We divide both sides by 27.5, giving us x equals. And we will actually divide this by 27.5, and it will give us the answer of 27. Go ahead and circle for x. Okay, so get comfortable with understanding that when line EC is parallel to line AB, it is going to split AD into AE and ED, all right, and then BD into CD and CB, just like we did here, all right. Now, yes, is there also an alternative route? Of course there is. We can use scale factor. Now, I do not promote scale factor simply because as we continue to grow in math and continue to excel, all right, there's going to be times where we cannot apply scale factor, but yes, we still can. And how would we do that? Well, essentially, if we know that we're solving for ED, and ED corresponds with EA, all right, well, I'm just going to put EA of 33, and I will divide it by CB of 27.5, okay, because take a look. If we know that 27.5 is less than 33, well, 22.5 here, so this number has to be greater, okay? So what we're going to do is 33 divided by 27.5. Put that into my calculator here. Just going to hit enter. We get 1.2. All right. Sometimes I can't enter all of those because it might give me like 10 numbers at the decimal, and I'm just not going to write all of those down. Then if we multiply it by our 22.5 here, sorry about that, it's a little small. We will still get our 27. So I just wanted to show that to you. So we still get 27 for x. either way, okay? Yes, you can use both. I do not mind, whatever is best for you and your understanding, but don't be asking questions mid-assessment like, Mr. Richards, I wanted to take the shortcut, but I'm unsure. I'm sorry if you're unsure, but you should be confident with the proportions to solve. All right, moving forward, we're going to take a look at a different one. All right, whoa, this is kind of new-ish, should we say. All right, now, above I gave the example of that line coming through. We'll take a look. Oh my goodness, we have EC again. All right, we had our big triangle here of ABD, and then in came this line parallel to AB called EC. And we're just going to go ahead and set up our scale factor to solve. All right, so once that does that, it creates that triangle within a triangle. So do my best to outline it. Okay, now if we know that 16 of ED corresponds with EA, sports, it's in the game. All right, so EA, and I'll put that for our ED, I'll put as my statement here. Okay, and I will put the 16 that's represented with. I will put my EA below its corresponding side, and that's represented by the number 4. Okay, now if I started with my ED and my larger, I also want to take the larger on top as well, and that's why I'm just using the 2 colors to represent. So we're going to take side CD, or actually let's go DC just for continuity. All right, now DC, whoa, it has nothing there, and CB has an X. Oh my goodness, what can we do? Well, if we know that the entire side of DB, the full length, not D to C in green, but D all the way to B is 28, we can do that 28 minus X, because we know it's this whole side minus that X value, which is also our CB. All right, so I'll put that there. And then our CB is X. From here, again, yes, we just simply cross multiply to solve. First thing we'll do is that 16 times X, which is going to give us 16X. We will set that equal to, and let's go ahead and work through. 4 times 28, 56, and 2 should be 112. Let me just double check that math. I just want to make 100% sure, and we are correct. Wonderful. Thank you, class. I know. Look at that. I'm in my own head now. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that down. 112. Then we have to do 4 times negative x, giving us negative 4x. Okay, from here, yes, we do set it up as an equation to solve. All right. So we want to get that 112 by itself, so we're going to add 4x over here. We're going to use the inverse operation, which means we're also, what we do to one side of that equation, we must do to the other. Great job, class. You guys are amazing. All right, so we have 20x equals 112, and what do we do? Exactly. We just divide each side by 20. Oops, sorry, not 22, not the double deuce. The Bernie special for his baseball number. X equals, we will do 112 divided by 20 equals 5.6. Now keep in mind, okay, if this part equals 5.6 and that total is 28, what could we do to find DC? Exactly. If we know we set it up as 28 minus x, well, we could just do 28 minus 5.6, which would give us 23.4. All right. Now, keep in mind, of course, there is another out we can do. All right. This one might seem a little more challenging to some. I don't believe it is, but we're solving for x on this side, correct? We know the entirety of BD is 28. We could take 28 and divide it by the entirety of AD, which is 20. All right, so let me just write this down. We can do 28 divided by 20, and we'll go ahead and put this into the calculator here. That equals 1.4. We can then multiply that to 4, and that should give us our x. So if I do times 4, I get 5.6, which is also equal to our x. So as you can see in both methods, yes, we did get the correct answer. But again, please do not come asking come quiz day. Let's go. 2 more to go, and then you will have 4 to try independently. All right, moving forward. Oh my goodness, again, we had that big triangle of ACD, and in came this parallel line to DC, which is EB here, okay? And we already know what that does, so I'm just going to go ahead. I always like to put the smaller triangle in green, or actually more of like the tip of the triangle, the tip of the iceberg there, okay, to represent it, to set up my proportions to solve. Now, even if I start here with AE, well, when this came gashing through, all right, it's telling us that AE corresponds with ED. So AE in green corresponds with ED in black. All right, and AE is represented by an X. ED is represented by a 7.2. I'll flip back over to green. Now, if we started with the smaller triangle, and we need to use the opposite number that it's giving us, which is AB of 8. So we're going to put AB on top, and 8 goes on top. Then we will put BC. All right, so AB corresponds with BC. All right, so let's take this here, which is represented by 12. And from here, yes, exactly, simply cross multiply. For continuity, I like to go gray and then blue. All right. I always like to start by multiplying to the variables. So 12 times x is 12x. We will set that equal to what's in blue of 7.28 times 8. So let's do 7.2 times 8 equals, let me get the calculator out, 57.6. All right, so we have 12x equals 57.6. I should have just put that into the calculator. Sorry about that. But yes, go ahead and divide each side by 12. Wonderful job, class. Thank you. Appreciate it. So x equals, let's say our 57.6. Let's divide it by 12. We get 4.8. Oh my goodness, Mr. Richards, what is that scale factor doing down in the corner? Well, solve by scale factor. Let's give it a go. All right, now if we know that we are solving for x here, all right, and if it's clearly going to be a smaller number because AE corresponds with ED, all right, and ED is set over BC here, all right. Now, what we can do is just do 7.2 divided by 12 times our 8. So let's just do it. Let's just write it out. Let me connect this. That way we can put it all in frame. 7.2. All right, we'll divide that by our 12, which equals, so let's do 7.2 divided by 12 equals 0.6. If we multiply that to the 8, we still get 4.8. which is equal to x. All right, so both of those methods work. Please don't get completely drawn into solving by scale factor because soon we will kind of see these in quadratic form as you move forward in math. And then all of a sudden, there's not too much scale factor that we can use, but when we're just using numbers and a single variable, feel free to take the shortcut route. All right, but please get comfortable with proportions. It's so critical moving forward. You guys are the greatest. Thank you. All right. Last but not least. Now, yes, there is a difference. Okay, we have triangle ACE. All right, now the parallel line of BD, Okay, now when we're solving for the parallel line or parallel line here, ooh, what indicates parallel line? Yes, thank you, the arrow. All right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked such a question. I get it. Okay, so BD is parallel here to AE. All right. What I'm going to do is, just so we can see this a little more clear, we're going to color in the tip of the iceberg here in green. All right. And we still need to solve for x. Now, the best way that I can do to describe this is to draw just a couple of triangles that mimic this, okay? So we're going to do like our larger one. It might not be exactly the same size. Don't sweat it. No big deal. It's just for an example here. All right. So that's ACE. A to C to E is our larger triangle. Now we know from C to E, if we did 7 plus 21, we would get 28. And A to E is 34. Wonderful. Perfect so far. Okay, but then we can do it one more time to where we just do like a little one that again just resembles that. And this one, all right, if we went, what would, let's just go BCD here, BCD. All right, fair enough. And I'll put this in green. You know what? Let me actually make that green too. I think that's just for clarity. All right. I think that might actually draw it just a little bit better. Now, BD we're uncertain of. It's certainly X. All right, for now. And DC here is 7. All right. Now, just looking at these triangles, you can tell what sides correspond, right? I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Now here, we would say 7 and 21, but because the 7 and 21, CE, all right, the entirety of it now corresponds with CD, all right? So let's just take a look. We have CE in black, all right? We'll use this as our big one of 28. And we will set that over what it corresponds with. CE corresponds with CD in 7. All right. Then we will take a look at what else it's providing us. Well, AE is 34. Top, Walter Payton, 34. And then we have BD, which is represented by an X. All right. So when you see that parallel line kind of really, when we're solving for the other parallel line, all right, it kind of looks a little different. And that's why I really wanted to provide that visual for you, all right? But again, same thing. 28 times X is wonderful. Yes, great job, 28X. Equals, yes, 34 times 7. Let me just do it in the calculator real quick. Should be 248, but I could be wrong. 238, see? Sometimes I'm wrong. Equals, let me do that in blue actually, 238. I should have probably thunk that through a little bit more. Yeah, 210 plus 28, that makes sense. Where did I go wrong? I don't know. All right, so divide each by 28. There I go again with that burning double deuce. 2, 3, 8 divided by 28 equals 8.5. So X equals 8.5. And again, whoa, Mr. Richards, why does it say solve by scale factor? Well, let's take a look, okay? Without even breaking this into twos, all right? We're solving for like the longer inside or the larger of the green. What we can do is, if we know that we're solving for the larger and AE corresponds here with our CE, it doesn't correspond, but provides our scale factor of AE divided by CE, so our AE is 34. All right, if we take that paint and we divide it by the entirety of CE of 28, that's going to give us our scale factor. So let's do 34 divided by 28. Oh, see what I mean? Here we go. 1.214. All that you have to do in your calculator is multiply it to the 7. It'll give you your X. So it's at times 7. And what do we get? 8.5. Okay, so I actually will write that out. I won't be lazy for you. I'm sorry. I know. I'm just trying to slack on my own self here. So we will do 1.2142857 143 times 7 equals 8.5. Now, you have to write all that out? No, you do not. Okay? All you have to do is enter it in your calculator as so. 34 divided by 28, hit equals, multiply it by 7. You will get 8.5 times x. All right? What I want you to do is go ahead and kind of pause the video. Draw this up. You might want to get a time frame. All right? In roughly 3, 2, 1, we will advance. Go ahead and draw this one up for yourself. Feel free to please pause the video in 3, 2, 1. And again, feel free to pause the video as we will continue in 3, 2, 1 to try on your own. And last one to try on your own. So guys, all four are the exact same four that I just did. We're just plugging and chugging with different numbers. That's all it is. And that's why math is just 3 steps. Identify, recognize, and sequence. That's all it is. All right? It doesn't matter what numbers we use. If we use decimals, once you're comfortable with the formula, it doesn't matter what we plug in. All right? Millions, billions, trillions, quintillions. All right? So here we go. Pause the video. All right? I will go over the answer key at the top in roughly 5 seconds. Thank you. And back with your answer key. Go ahead and pause the video. Now, guys, again, you could have set this up as black over green equals black over green. You could have done long side over corresponding long side is equal to short side over corresponding short side. You could have done short side over short side equals long side over corresponding long side. Okay, there's multiple ways to set that up. So at the top of the paper, you guys saw that earlier. All right, go ahead and check your work. Scroll down to the next one. And again, guys, go ahead, pause the video. All right. Go ahead and check your work. Mainly go ahead and check for your answer because you may have set up your proportions differently, at least in your statement and when solving. But if you did set them up correctly, it should look relatively the same or close to. All right, when you start going through your work. All right, 2 left for you guys to check. Go ahead and pause the video. Take a look at your work, see if everything aligns, that you solve correctly. Wonderful. I will continue to advance. And for our last one, please go ahead and give that a check for yourself. All right, again, we had one of those odd ones with like 10 after the decimal, but you can always just plug it right into your calculator as 48 divided by 35, hit equals, hit times 14, and you will get the exact same answer. All right, and again, when you see that, guys, real quick, all right, when BD is parallel with AE and we're solving for that parallel line, either or, do yourself a favor and just go ahead and break that into the 2 separate triangles. You know what? I forgot to label that, and I'm going to for you. All right, so you have the ACE, and then our smaller one would be BCD. Sorry about that. Go ahead and pause it, check your work. Wonderful. All right, class, crew, you guys have an awesome one. Let's continue to crush.